You sit at a desk. They sit at a desk. You have sales reports. They have book reports. You need supplies. They need supplies. Business is a lot like school. That's why your small business should take advantage of back-to-school deals at Staples. Now, Staples 1-inch 3-ring binders are $1.92. One subject notebooks are just 25 cents, and 2 pocket poly folders are just 35 cents each. Make back to school your business at Staples.
In-store only while supplies last. Offer ends 9/1/18, limit 30.
Blog Talk Radio.
Warning. What you are about to hear are the views of Travis Pope and the Oklahoma Tomcat and is not supported by the government. Agreeing with the hosts of this show could cause you to be targeted by the government and government agencies. You have been warned.
Good morning. Welcome to Political TNT. I'm Travis, your host, and I am stuck in Wyoming. My lovely truck is broke down on me in Wyoming, and I'm at a lovely hotel, I should say. It's kind of old, too. It was built in 1911. Am I the only one here, or did our producer decide to go quiet on us? You can't get all shy on us now.
I thought you were going to tell the story about the hotel.
Well, we can get to that. We're doing the introductions. Oh, come on. Wow.
Good morning, New York, and everyone that likes New York.
All the liberals do. That's why they stay up there. Liberals never move. Liberals stay in New York. They don't ever leave.
I didn't know
wait,
that.
Our producer never leaves.
Oh, I do leave. I did leave. I left like lots of times and then came back.
Yeah. True statists are always drawn back to their home state. The state of state. You see, me and Joe worked hard getting you to go ahead and go to the libertarian side. Now we're going to have to work extra hard to get you to move out of New York. Just think about the money you'll save. I know people tell me all the time that they can't move out of New York because they can't afford it. And I said, you cannot afford not to leave. Y'all leave New York. It'll be like hitting the lotto. Where did I get all this money from?
I don't think it's that big of a difference as far as money from state to state.
What's that?
I don't think it's a big difference, like, money-wise from state to state. Like, New York has a lot of issues, and they do, and everything is really high price. But if you go to, like, say, Oklahoma, they don't pay their people a lot of money, the jobs out there. In fact, they're a lot lower than anyone else. That's how I feel.
Well,
so the people out in Oklahoma they get paid less, and their rent is less because they get paid less.
Oh yeah, that could be part of it too.
Like, you're really not saving any money. You're just, living poorly.
That depends on the job you get. That depends on the job you get. I mean, yeah, if you get the everyday job, if you get a job at like a store or something, yeah, you're going to get paid a lot less. But if you get a job, where you actually have training and stuff, then you do get paid more.
Yeah. Well, like for instance, when I was doing construction in Texas is real low, and the price range. I mean, the cost of living is cheaper and all that stuff. I didn't leave my house for no less than about $65 an hour. I don't, someone called me up and say, hey, if another company wanted me to come bid on a job just for insurance purposes, that's no less than $100 to get up out of my bed.
Well, also, actually, I find it to be the opposite of what you said there, Edith. The reason you have to get paid more in New York and California is because of the fact that the cost of living is so much more, which also brings up the cost of other services and goods also have to go up to make up for that price the companies are paying the employees.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Because that's why I said Oklahoma, because it's the only other state that I lived that was cheaper. Because the cost of living is a lot cheaper than New York.
Like, and like jobs like this here, like what I have, it benefits me more to live in states like Oklahoma because of the fact that, if I lived in New York, my wife would probably have to work. In fact, I was just talking to a guy who's from the Bronx, and he said that his rent, he now lives in Minnesota, which is now he's got a nice house and everything and makes good living. But he said when he lived out in New York, he had a one-bedroom apartment, and it was costing him $900 a month. I'm like, wow.
900.
I could not imagine.
How many
that was
bedrooms?
several years ago. It was one bedroom.
Oh! Because I'm gonna
With
say
him, his wife, and two kids had to be in one bedroom.
Well,
yeah, because that even up here, even Liberty area, Sullivan County area, their rent for a poor. It's a poor area.
Yeah. Jet up there
is
it's so poor. You're really people up there don't make that much money. For the call. I don't know how you guys do it, especially in the wintertime. Oh man, the price of fuel up there.
And that, I'm telling you, one of my friends, that's all she can get is $1,000 places.
Mhm. That is ridiculous.
Because that's all they really offer. That's all. That's it. My rinky-dink shack there in Walton was even a little. It was quite high for the area. There's nothing in that area, and I was paying $750, and that's nothing included.
Let me say this. I'm gonna say it. Okay, let's get a little stir up here.
Oh,
look. Okay. Yeah. High rent is racist.
It's not.
Yeah. Look. I live down here in Texas. We tried to pride ourselves on not being very racist, but it is racist. It's highly racist state. But everybody knows minorities and women make less. Okay, some of them make more, some of them make pretty good, but on the average, on the general, they make less. Some of them don't even have jobs. So how do you keep them out of certain neighborhoods? How do you keep the poor and the unwanted, the minorities out of your neighborhood?
Oh, you jack the price up, I guess, in rent, huh?
Yeah. So, you have $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, $1,600 rent. You keeping minorities and undesirables out of your area. Period.
Actually, you're kind of on track there, Travis, with something else. That was the whole purpose of minimum wage. That was the reason minimum wage first started. Was to keep the undesirables from getting a job, and it's working.
So now you got these urban areas where all these people are living, because of that, we have public housing, and public housing is increasing by the numbers. So you got people living in public housing, and now you have all the people that have no hope for life, can't get a good job, living on the system. And is it any coincidence that these areas are also the highest rate of criminal activity, such as drugs, theft, murder, rape, molestation?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you do have people that have no hope or anything, and aren't productive, then it's human nature that they're going to end up, resorting to crime and mischief activity. That's only natural.
Well, it's not really that. It's what is the old saying that we always grew up with? Idle hands is the devil's playground.
Oh yeah. That's why I added that. If you're not productive, as in doing stuff, you're going to get into more mischief. But also the crime rate goes up also because of the fact. I mean, it's really two things. That there is one of them, and the other one is that if there's no hope, no future for you, it's natural you're going to resort to crime to support yourself. I mean, that's human nature. I mean, whatever it takes to survive, right? There's two things going on in those areas. So yeah, crime is. You're going to have all that criminal activity located in one area. It's also segregation. Think about it. Also, think about this. Okay, you got those housing areas where you have everyone who is on the system together. Now, Travis and Edith, what's the one thing that we all should do if we want to better ourselves? And we should always surround ourselves with better people, right? Because of the fact that, it motivates you. You see somebody, Travis and I do it all the time. We talk every day, and we talk about things we're doing, and stuff, and we bounce off each other as far as oh, you're doing that, oh, we do, we get ideas, and also we always better ourselves because of the fact that we talk back and forth about what each other is doing. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to surround yourself with other people that are actually, motivated themselves so that you yourself keep motivated, and you both work together. When you're in a community where everyone, there's no hope for anyone, what's going to happen? You know, where is the motivation to do better? You know, other than competing for who gets the most government money.
yeah, and not only that, but you know, like me and you know, iron sharpens iron. So is a man. Man sharpens.
Exactly.
You know, but when you're like me and you, like you said, me and you, we bounce off of each other to increase, okay, to make things better, to do things better, okay. Well, when you get into a general area that has no hope, no desire to better themselves, but now they're bouncing off each other to see who could do the worst.
Yeah, and actually you do hear that, don't you? I mean, when you talk to certain people, you know, it's like, who's the baddest person, you know? You know, who ran from the police today? Who, you know, broke into what? You know, and you do hear that. I mean, even on the internet, I mean, it's shocking how many people get caught because they posted stuff like that on the internet. You know, yeah, I mean, they're competing for who's the baddest. You know.
Yeah. Competing to who's the baddest and the meanest and everything else.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then they become more undesirable. Now you really don't want these people in your neighborhood now, because unless something drastically changes to change their mentality, they're just gonna bring that to your neighborhood. So back to my original thing. High rent is racist. Prove me wrong. I guess he dropped off the map.
Yeah, I had to quickly put you guys on mute because of the fact that the forklift driver was giving me a thumbs up and I had to talk to him. You know, they force you to talk to these forklift drivers. You know, I think that's wrong that we're forced to have to talk to people. You know.
Yeah. Every time I might go up to these shippers and receivers and stuff, and they ask me for my ID, I feel disenfranchised.
Oh man, that's racist. Oh man, they're asking you for a photo ID.
Yep, before I can get my load.
That's you know, they say that the voter ID is racist. So you know, anyone who asks you from now on, asks you for a photo ID, say, I do not have to show you my photo ID because that is racist, and you're being very racist. I will report you.
You know, the crazy part is I do that. I actually do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell him
shoot,
that all the time.
I don't see where he's telling me to park. He told me to park somewhere to get strapped and everything, but oh well. Guess I'll park here. If they don't like it, too bad. Hey, Edith. So, are you guys getting married in a church?
No. I would like to, really, because they're pretty. But
are you gonna have a pastor doing the marriage? I guess you have to, don't you, in New York?
Yeah. His sister-in-law does it.
Perfect. Is Jay by any chance around? Is he in the studio with you?
No.
No? Oh man. All right. I have the perfect verse.
I'm gonna put you on mute for a second.
All right.
Oh, okay. I have the perfect verse for you to have the pastor read to you, okay?
All right.
All right. Now, why don't you tell Jay, give this Jay, because it's more for him than you. Let me see. I got it here. I know I saved it. Oh, shoot. I thought I saved it. Oh, man. Okay, I can look it up real quick. Because I remember the verse. I heard this verse yesterday morning. Somebody who's getting married wanted the pastor to read it, and they're like, "No, we can't use that verse."
Oh.
Oh man, I know I saved it. Come on. Is it this one? Dang it. Darn it, man, it was a good verse. Now I can't even find it, man.
Well, I guess it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. It's Proverbs. I remember that part. All right, I'll have to look that up. But I have a verse for you to give to Jay, and I will find it before the end of the show. But there is something else I heard that has finally convinced me to support the ending of global warming. I'm now for ending global warming. I want the government to do everything possible to end it. And I'm hoping I can get you guys on board with it. Because, they've been doing the whole thing with the end of the world coming, people are going to die and starve and all this stuff, right? The world's going to flood, and still people are not, and including me, I was guilty of it. I'm like, doesn't matter, But now I'm finally convinced. And what convinced me as far as, finally getting on board, because, I didn't care about everybody dying. I didn't care about that. Now I want it to end because the Bloody Mary will never be the same. The drink, the cocktail drink, Because, if you think about it, the Bloody Mary gives us an excuse to drink in the morning, right? Because it's kind of a brunch drink. You know? And I saw an article, or actually I heard it on the radio, but, they were talking about an article of the Bloody Mary is going to, you won't be able to make it the same, so it won't taste the same anymore. And the reason why is because, all the ingredients that make up the Bloody Mary won't be around, or they won't be the same thing. Like, for instance, the tomato, all right? You're going to have the tomatoes will not ripen and will not be as sweet as they are, What's going to happen is you'll have green tomatoes making up the Bloody Mary.
So it'll be a green Mary.
Yeah, it'll be green Mary, and also it's not going to taste the same. I mean, green tomatoes, come on. The only way to eat a green tomato is to fry it. Otherwise, it's nasty. So can you imagine drinking it? I mean, this is tragic, And then even in the article, they talked about, how people don't care about, the fact the world's going to flood and everybody's going to die and everything. But we need to save the planet because of the fact that we have to have the Bloody Mary in the morning. And
you don't even drink Bloody Mary, so why are you even worried about it?
Well, Come on, Travis. You have to get on board with this. You have to. For me. Gotta have my Bloody Mary every morning.
But you don't drink them, so why should I do it for you?
for Edith. We have to do it for her.
Well, I don't know if Edith drinks Bloody Marys in the morning.
I never had one.
All right. So, no, why would I do it for her?
For society. I mean, think about how many crazy people are out there right now. Think about how many people. Think about this, Travis. Think about this. We see all the crazy people out here. Okay, this is with them, drinking the Bloody Mary. Can you imagine them without the Bloody Mary in the morning? We'll have to have 5 tasers on us.
Here's my problem.
Huh?
Here's my problem with the whole situation. I thought liberals wanted to kill off mankind anyways because it's because mankind is a parasite anyways according to them. So why are they worried about trying to save the environment when it does implode on itself? It'll just wipe out half of mankind.
Yeah, but the problem is, will also wipe out the animals. I think that's what they care about the most. But they won't come out and say that, they want to try to make it to where, they're actually looking out for humans, But I think they really care more about the animals than the humans. And the trees. Think about all the trees that will die. I think the trees should be prospering, shouldn't it? I mean, aren't they talking about carbon footprint is carbon dioxide is the reason why the planet's warming. So the trees should be enjoying it because trees inhale carbon dioxide. In fact, actually, the increase in carbon dioxide should actually be good for them because increase in carbon dioxide could negatively affect us and help the trees.
This is me giving a damn.
Well, here's something else. Okay. Maybe you don't care about the Bloody Mary, but how about the birds that are eating the balloons? We need to ban balloons. And I know my son's gonna freak out, not having his balloons because he loves the balloons that float and everything. But the problem is when you release them and they pop and they fall to the ground, the birds and turtles are eating them, and they're dying. So we got banned balloons, and states like California, I believe New York is doing it. Several states are already taking action to save the birds and turtles.
Oh yeah,
so that's another thing we need to do.
Is that kind of like the?
They're saving the animals, and what New York's going for, and we're not going to have balloons.
Well, like for instance, California, I don't know exactly what New York's law or what they're proposing, but California is banning certain balloons. And this is the rubber balloons because apparently birds and turtles love latex rubbers.
That's because turtles eat anything.
But killing
don't they realize this? That's not our fault that they don't know the difference.
That means Edith,
what?
That means y'all better get married fast because you won't be able to have balloons if you wait too long.
That whole ceremony of releasing the balloons, during weddings, that's one of the laws they're trying to put into place. Some sporting events, they've actually banned the releasing of the balloons, and they're trying to substitute it with something else because, that apparently that some of the sporting events they'll release all those balloons. Apparently it's done during weddings also. So you better hurry up and get married, otherwise you're not going to be able to have your latex rubbers. I wonder if that means they should ban rubbers. Because, that's thrown out and turtles and birds might eat that. And that could be real toxic, because you got stuff inside that,
Yeah,
they might end up pregnant.
Look, okay. We know for a fact that they're going by the they're going by the balloons at all these summer hot spots and stuff like that, you know, the beach and everything like that. Look, people, those ain't balloons. Those are rubbers. Those are college students throwing their rubbers out on the beach after they're done. Those ain't balloons.
There you go. Let's ban contraceptives. but here's the thing, people. Here's a real serious thing here. You know, we're making fun of the environmentalists and stuff. The number of balloons is very, that's polluting the environment is very, 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 very small. And the other thing that's really irritating me is these states that are banning plastic bags. How about you guys disposable
The Liberty National Network.
Hey, did you see that post online about Julie? I totally wrote it. Wasn't it hilarious? Is all of that true? Who cares? She's done anyway. Are you talking about that post about Julie? Yeah, funny, right? No, but that post about you was. What post? Oh, you didn't hear? You're fat, you're ugly, you're stupid, and oh yeah, you smell too. The whole school saw it, no big deal. That's so mean. Did they really write that about me? No, but how does it feel?
Sometimes you can feel all alone when being bullied. That's when you can really use a friend. If you see someone you know being bullied online, let them know they're not alone. Stand up now, support a friend, save a life. For more information on cyberbullying, visit stopthemean.wordpress.com or call our hotline at 1-800-555-STOP.
Research studies have shown that alkaline water with a pH level of 9.5 to 10.5 helps neutralize the acid in your bloodstream. Because cancer cells typically thrive in environments with a high acid content, theorists believe that introducing more alkalinity into your system can help your body to resist and potentially stave off cancer growth by increasing its pH levels. Studies further indicate that drinking water with a high pH level can help increase your metabolism, relieve acid reflux, and improve your body's ability to absorb vital nutrients. So, while there may be no established guarantees concerning the efficacy of alkaline water in preventing the growth of cancer, its collective health benefits are impressive. Because of Earth water's high pH factor, it is packed with powerful antioxidants that combat the effects of free radicals. To find out more about the benefits of Earth water and to get $20 off of your case of Earth water, go to earthwater.com/PTAT. That is earthwater.com/P as in Papa, T as in Tango, A as in Alpha, T as in Tango. Earth water. Rehydrate, replenish, recover.
Hi, I'm Joy, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is President of Hillsdale College, Dr. Larry Arnn, on why the Constitution limits government.
James Madison writes in Federalist 51 that men are not angels. Their passions and self-interest often get the better of their reason and sense of justice. So we need government in order to protect our rights against those who would take them away. But for the same reason, Madison writes, government must be limited, because people in government have passions and interests too. Many Americans today forget this, supposing that we can do away with constitutional limits on government, supposing that the unelected bureaucrats being put in charge of our health care, for example, will rule as if they are angels. If Madison was correct about human nature, this is foolish and dangerous.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To receive a free pocket Constitution and Declaration, go to constitutionminute.com.
Miss Producer is also known as Miss Giggles. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. If you want to be part of the show, dial 914-338-1906 and then press 1.
All right, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. You know what? I really like this motel. It's really good. Oh, by the way, I'm at the Plains Hotel in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Cheyenne. Oh, I never even did say where I was yet, have I?
No, you've been secretive.
Good. Good morning, Minnesota.
No. You said it wrong. Said it wrong.
I said it wrong.
Yeah, you're supposed to take out the SOTA and put SNOWA. Minnesota.
Actually, man, it is nice up here. This is the way weather should be year-round. Nice and cool. Man, I woke up this morning full of energy. Didn't have to have the AC on all night.
Yeah.
Hey, over the weekend, this is a topic that I've been trying to get on the show all week, but we kept on having trouble, one thing after another. You know, we weren't able to do the show pretty much all week. But over the weekend, we had these protests going on, where you had the white supremacists and Antifa colliding, you know, doing the protests and stuff. And, you know, there was probably, maybe 10 white supremacists that showed up. And, but man, Antifa really caused a lot of trouble. You know, since there wasn't enough white supremacists, you know, Antifa decided to attack everybody else, including the media. Found hilarious. Because even after the media was attacked, they still praised Antifa. I mean, that's dedication. I'm telling you. You know, you get attacked. You know, and yet you still go and turn around and praise your attacker. In fact, Chris Cuomo did a whole show on it. You know, saying that it was justified. You know what Antifa was doing. You know, with attacking innocent people and police.
Man, you really want me to get into this, don't you?
Oh yeah, please do. Because I mean, this is, you know, totally crazy as far as what they're, you know, how dedicated they are to, you know, and I know what it is, and I know I'm going to be attacked for it because, you know, I always do get attacked for it every time I say it, and that is they want racism to return. They want, you know, the violence. Because of the fact that gives them more power. You know, the politicians get more power, the advocates get more money, you know, and the media gets more publicity.
Yeah. Here's my take on it. Okay, let's rewind the clock. Click. Okay, let's go back in time. Okay, let's visualize this. Obama's president. Okay? We have Obama as president.
Mm-hmm.
You notice none of these Antifa or any of these Wall Street, Occupy Wall Street cats, any of these people, any of them, ever showed up to a Tea Party rally?
Nope.
Did you ever hear of any violence or anything at a Tea Party rally?
We heard all them rumors, but they were always found out to be untrue. And in fact, the Tea Party rallies were so peaceful that the media had to make up stuff.
Yeah, they even cleaned up after themselves.
Yeah.
when the Tea Party left. Yeah. When the Tea Party left, they didn't even leave trash behind.
Nope. Yeah, in fact, if you remember, that they always had to make up a story. They always had to come up with something, to make it sound like it was a racist movement. And here it wasn't. In fact, one of their big leaders, their big spokesperson, was the guy who does the Black Sphere, which he happens to be black.
Yeah.
He was a huge speaker in a lot of those rallies, and he also has a radio show.
Yeah, there's another one by the name of I know his first name is David. I can't think of his last one.
Yeah.
But they were all Tea Party.
Yep.
And he's actually on Sirius XM now. David Webb.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a big old black guy, and he's on Sirius XM Patriot Channel now. I can't listen too much of him because my racist self kicks in, and I can't handle listening to statism too long, so I have to move it.
Yeah.
Because,
why I don't listen to Black Spirit.
Yeah. And I like these people on a personal basis, okay? I like David Webb.
Yes.
He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool talking to. And technically, I think if we can get down nitty-gritty with him, he'll probably agree with me on 90% of what I say.
Yep.
But for radio, he is on Sirius XM. And the last libertarian that was on there that was a strong libertarian, they kicked him off. Matter of fact, they kicked Glenn Beck and, well, I don't consider Glenn Beck a libertarian. I consider him a statist. But there was another one on there that I really liked, and he was really libertarian thought, and that was Mike Church. But they kicked Mike Church, and Glenn Beck claimed libertarian, so I'm going to say Glenn Beck. They kicked Mike Church.
Glenn Beck's one of them Republicans that kind of lean libertarian, but really is not libertarian.
Yeah, and so they kicked Glenn Beck off of Sirius XM, and they kicked Mike Church off of Sirius XM. The two most libertarian-minded.
Right.
The only other one that I like listening to on Sirius XM is Andrew Wilkow. He will strictly talk about the Constitution.
Yeah.
And he's real good on it. There he is, over there making noises. I mean, how dare you, man? We're on the radio show. And you're over there making all that noise.
I'm trying to do it as quiet as possible. I'm trying to be real gentle and.
But back to where I was getting to. All these Tea Party rallies, there was never any violence. They cleaned up after themselves. But you start seeing at the end of Obama's presidency, the Tea Party is no longer going out and doing rallies because, let's face it, they have jobs they got to go to. And that gets expensive driving to Washington, D.C. all the time to do rallies. So now these people are staying at home working, but you start seeing an increase in violence through this is right at the end of his presidency. Black Lives Matter starts increasing in their stuff, and Occupy Wall Street starts doing their stuff, and all. I mean, it's starting to get really bad. Okay, you're seeing the increase in the violence and the. Occupy Wall Street were taking big dumps and slinging them on buildings and in churches and the guys that were up there in Minnesota, I think it was, Wisconsin, that wanted to blow up the bridge, Chicago. So closely to the end of Obama's presidency, you start seeing an increase in violence, but it's not really going anywhere. Now, here we are, fast forwarded back to present day. I'm painting this picture for everybody. Now, under Trump, we no longer have Tea Party rallies or anything like that. Because I know all the people I know hasn't never went to any of these protests and stuff that's going on right now. But why is it under a white president that now the white nationalists are out, Antifa is out? Wouldn't it have been more realistic if these white nationalists were protesting during Obama? Did I just lose everybody?
No, I'm here.
All right, I'm back.
Doesn't that make more sense? Why didn't these white nationalists and members protest during Obama? Why are they doing it under a white president?
Well, even now, there's not that many of them. I mean, like I said, over the weekend, maybe 10 of them showed up. You know, to tell you the truth, and here's my overall theory. I mean, first of all, going back to the Tea Party, I think the Tea Party messed up by organizing in the first place, and they got taken over, I believe, by the Republicans, and that was the start of their doom. But as far as this whole racist thing, and I did do a live video yesterday on it. Hold on. Yep. I'm going to mute the mic. Hold on.
All right. Well, he muted the mic, I think. But anyways, anyways, what I'm saying is I don't believe these things are real. Okay, I think they're superficial. I think they're being created. I don't think the there might be some racist people out there, but I don't think they're really getting out there doing anything. I think these protesters are set up to destabilize our society. I think they're being paid to do it. What do you think there, Miss Producer?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because it makes no sense to be protesting to be a white nationalist under this president. Why didn't they do that during, and I wouldn't have accepted it even if it was done under Obama. But the thing is, it doesn't make sense to me. Why are they doing it now? And I'll tell you, people are saying this. Well, because Trump empowers them to come out. Trump empowers them to come out because Trump is racist, so they're empowered to come out. I don't believe that.
No, I don't either.
And how and who organizes these things? Okay, I got plenty of news feeds on my Twitter, Facebook, listening to the news and all this. I've got news coming from all directions, okay? I never hear about these protests and these rallies until after it happens. It's not that I want to go join them. Well, I probably would go join them, not because I'm racist or Antifa, but I would do it because I want to throw down. Okay, that's just me. I like a good fight. So I just show up just to bash heads. You know, I do the Hulk smash. You won't like me when I'm mad.
Man, Travis, guess what our dispatcher just did to me?
Uh-oh.
he told me that there was a driver showing up, and to make sure that the driver secures the load correctly, show him what to do and everything, making it sound like there's a rookie showing up. The driver who shows up is one I've met before, and he's been doing this since Dino was a dinosaur. I'm like, and he told me that the dispatcher told him the same thing, that rookie, you know, that he's going to be meeting our driver to show him what, you know, and that he wanted him to show me what to do. I'm like, both was like, man, he's messed up. So we're both expecting to see a rookie here, you know, to show what they're doing.
So just understand. I just realized and I wonder if he's probably not even listening to us, but our dispatcher uses us. Yeah, our dispatcher uses us as his entertainment.
Yes, he does. Yes, he gets way too much entertainment from his drivers. And if we don't give him entertainment, he'll create one for us.
Yeah. So now, whenever he told you, he probably told you, hey, you see that other driver over there? And you said, yeah. He told you that he was his number one driver.
In fact, it's that same driver.
Yeah, he probably sent him that same message. Hey, you see that driver over there? He's my number one driver.
I told him one time he did that. You know, he told me that, hey, that's why you're my number one driver. I sent him a message saying, I like how your number one driver changes from minute to minute. Are you sure you're not female?
oh, that's sexist. That's sexist. Edith, you should take offense to that.
By the way, Miss Producer, we're probably going to get a lot of heat for me just saying that, so go ahead and edit that out so that no one hears it. Hey, actually, I'm saying that out of love, people. Okay, so before anyone gets all heated and everything, I'm saying it out of love. We have to respect the fact that our dispatcher may actually be a female trapped in a man's body. We have to take that into consideration. So you like how I say how I did that there, Travis?
Yeah. Now when we share the show, I'm gonna have to tag him in it so he can come read it. He'll have to listen to most of the show. Yeah. Cut that section out and go ahead and make a separate clip and send it to him. I want to know that I love him. Hey! Wait a minute! Did our explosion get deleted? No, you just added an extra word onto it.
I put down the political TNT so that we know it's to our show and not to the other show that may end up being part of our show.
So now we've come to the conclusion that our dispatcher likes to play mind games with his drivers. You know, that's not really cool. At least it's a fun mind game.
Actually, I do like that our dispatcher is fun to, because we're able to do the same thing to him, mess with him and stuff like that, and he gets a laugh out of it. So it makes the job go by a lot better, and especially when we get frustrated out here,
Yeah. Yeah, I like sitting. I like when he tell whenever and I do this too. When I say I'm unloaded or getting loaded, he'll say awesome or thanks or something like that. I always send a GIF or GIF to him that has a really old man doing a 2 thumbs up and kind of squinting.
Yeah, I sent him those Bitmonchis. One time he asked me where he get them from. He says that looks a lot like you. I was like, hey, it's a Bitmonchy. I actually created it. Which those are fun.
So,
I miss the bit strips though.
Yeah,
I miss those bits.
But back to the show because we already got like 4 minutes left, 4.5 minutes. But then, like I said earlier, is that I feel it's all set up. I don't really think it's really going on. I think someone is intentionally trying to destabilize our society, our country, and they're doing it through because eventually people have a breaking point, and eventually it's going to happen. And look, right now summer's about over, and like as usual, these rallies stop when school starts. And now what's going to happen during school season? Now everybody's tensed up and worried that is their kid going to come home from school today, or is somebody going to shoot it up?
Yep. Yeah, and I did a live video on this topic, and I see that, and you and I have been in many debates over it, about the increase in racism, that racism has increased. And this is the reason why, because there's certain people in play that's trying to bring back racism for their own benefit, because under racism, you did get bigger government, you did get, these leaders who are making lots of money off donations and stuff. It's a power thing.
It's a playbook, right? It's a play right out of Hitler's playbook.
Yep. And if you cause up enough trouble, if everybody studies histories, we'll see it. In fact, Hitler did it himself, to get power. If you can create an unstable environment, people will look for a leader that will save them, and that's how dictators are born. People will go with the dictator who says, "Hey, I can end all this. I will protect you."
Oh wow! You're quoting something, and I don't want to get on it. But I'm going to. You know who else did that too? If now that you put it in that perspective, you know who else does that too? That we're actually warned about this person that will do this.
Mm-hmm. And who's that?
The Antichrist.
Yeah, I thought you were going there. Yep.
But
that is true. But that's a different topic, yeah. but yeah. That is true.
Yeah, we're told that and that's one of the seals. Actually, that's one of the seals that is popped in that is broken in the Book of Revelations is destabilization of society.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever the society destabilizes, then you have that one that comes up, says that he can fix everything. He unifies the world. He can fix everything.
Yep, and it's all an illusion, too, because actually nothing does get fixed. It's just an illusion, which we see that going on. This false peace, which I heard that a lot while Clinton was in office. Oh, wow, we're at peace. I guess when I was in the military when Clinton was in office, we were not at peace. He just would not declare any of the, and that's why these politicians do that too with the wars. You know, they don't actually declare war. It looks like we're at peace. You know.
Yeah. So I may not be wrong after all. Well, there is someone in the background that's actually doing this stuff. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, and I don't think it's just one person, but I do think there's a group of people that is inciting all this, that's creating all this, and which I talked about in my video over the week yesterday. You know, that there are people who's inciting all this. Because let me ask you something. Even now, how big do you think that the white supremacist groups are? They're not very big. There ain't too many people who like them. You know, in fact, they've always been in hiding. That's why you hardly ever see them doing any of this stuff. You know, now you've got some of them coming out because of the fact that, you know, the other side is pushing it. You know.
Well, we'll be right back.
And remember, no balloons. Get rid of those latex.
The Liberty National Network.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. But every driver seeks the pinnacle of their achievements. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Not every confrontation requires the application of deadly force. Civilians have just as much need for less lethal defense tools as the police, and Truckers Defense sells several products for that purpose. Whether you are a truck driver, student, stay-at-home mom, a marathon runner, or a salesperson, Truckers Defense has the right product to help you defend yourself. Check out their line of products at truckers-defense.com. Truckers Defense. Bringing the best products for alternative defense when you cannot carry a firearm. The Liberty National Network.
Travis Pope may sound like a big bad gorilla, but he is really a big cuddly teddy bear. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. If you want to be part of the show, dial 914-338-1906 and then press 1.
All right, welcome back to Political TNT.
Welcome back. I have something for you.
What?
This is just for you and all you liberals out there, okay? This is just for y'all.
This is the balloon song. Sing along with me. Red, red balloon floating in the sky. Blue, blue balloon drifting up so high. White, white balloon flying through the air. Green, green balloon, you can see it everywhere.
Is that a Barney song?
No, that's what I looked up. It's called the Balloon Song. It's for learning colors. The little blue globe band. Say that fast 10 times. Little blue globe band.
So
but
it
there
could
you
have
go.
been a
That's
Barney
just for
song.
y'all.
Which, by the way, everyone, that's not Political TNT endorsing balloons or any latex rubbers that will kill the poor birds and turtles. Because we don't want to do that.
No, fly your balloons.
Yeah, in fact, every time my son tries to run outside to release a balloon, because he loves doing that, I'm gonna make sure I stop him and tell him, no, we don't want to kill the birds.
Yeah, that's going to go good.
And then I'll let my wife deal with his tantrum.
Yeah, you'll have to let your wife deal with your kid. Let your wife deal with your kid's meltdown.
Oh. Oh. So, did you have something else planned there, Travis, or are we done with the show?
You want it to be done with the show? All right.
No.
Well, we can still be talking. I mean, come on. This is our show. We're not regulated, okay? We're wait a minute. Since we're talking about this show and that we're not regulated, did you hear about what they did to what the federal government did this time? The federal government did this time to Alex Jones. Hello? Did you hear?
I didn't hear.
You didn't hear? What happened? He left? Check this out. Okay. Apparently, Alex Jones has been running on a pirated radio show, okay, since 2012, somewhere around there, okay? He's been doing this. Okay, let's wind up. Let's rewind a couple of weeks ago. Okay, we talked on the show about Facebook and some of these other social media companies completely blocked Alex Jones off of their sites, okay? Banned him off their sites. Okay, that's fine. That's a private company. They can do whatever they want, okay? You won't hear. I might not like it, and I might disagree with it, but it's a private company. They can do whatever they want. you won't hear me, oh well, okay. But I draw the line is when the federal government gets involved. Okay, apparently, Alex Jones has been running a pirated radio show. I don't know if anybody knows what this means. It means that the company he was going through to put his radio show out on the airs didn't have the proper permits. Their permits were revoked or something like that. They weren't allowed to be on the air. Period. But they still was on the air, and they've been running Alex Jones since 2012. And that's his mother radio station. That's the main station that airs the Alex Jones show, or Prison Planet, and all them other shows that he has. The federal government, the FCC, came in and shut down this broadcast station. Shut it down.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because they didn't have the proper permits. Now, here's my problem. Okay, you could have made that argument back in 2012 and shut them down. But after all these years that he's been broadcasting from that same broadcast station, Facebook and all these other social media cats ban him from their platforms. Now the federal government, the FCC, comes in and shuts down the broadcast station. Now we can get into the conspiracy theory that the federal government was in cahoots with Facebook and the other ones, because now they why didn't they do it back in 2012 whenever they first knew that he was running on a pirated broadcast station?
Yeah.
Why did they wait? Why did they wait until now? And their excuse, well, he didn't have the broadcast station doesn't have the permits for him to be running on it, so he's on illegal radio waves. Now, but why didn't you do it back in 2012? Why did you wait? Now it looks like, look, I don't believe a lot of stuff that Alex Jones says. Okay? I don't believe a lot of stuff he says. All right? But he has always said that they will come after him because of the things that he's revealing. If they're not true, you're just validating everything he's saying just by doing what you're doing. Still not back?
No, he's on. He's just must have his stuff muted or something.
Yeah. So there it lets me know that, okay, what did he stumble on to get this attention? So what do you think, Edith?
I think that's messed up. They
so
got
shut
rid
him
of
down
the
like
whole.
that?
Yeah, they got rid of. They silenced him, and then, but no one knows why.
Well, apparently that it has to do with something. What I've been reading is that he went and visited somewhere, and they've been after him and shutting him down and blocking him ever since.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what's going on Alex Jones' side, is that now it looks like the federal government is silencing him. But here I thought he was Trump's best friend.
Does Trump really have best friends?
I don't know. I don't even know if his family are his friends.
His only best friends are those that actually benefit him, and only while they benefit him.
So what do you think? What do you think about what's happened now to the broadcast station there?
All right, I'm sorry. I was talking to supposedly the rookie driver, so I didn't hear what you were saying.
Oh man! All right, let me recap this then. He was talking to the rookie driver. Okay, we know Alex Jones was shut down by social media. A bunch of off their platforms. Okay. Now, Alex Jones's broadcast station was shut down by the FCC because they've been running on pirated airwaves, according to them, since 2012. And they've known about this since 2012 that he's been on unpermitted, unpaid for. He didn't buy permits from the federal government to run a radio show since 2012. So a few weeks after the social media platforms blocked him, now the federal government goes in and shuts down the radio show. What is your take?
Yeah, if that's true, then there's actually I don't know. I'd have to look up further on what all is exactly going on. I heard somebody say that, or actually I read somebody saying that on Twitter, and I tried looking it up. But there's a couple of questions. Number one, if they knew he was doing it and it's illegal, then why didn't they take action earlier? Me, I'm against that anyway. I mean, but why now? I guess is my basic thought. Why are they suddenly enforcing this now?
Yeah, because listen, me and Joseph both, me and Oklahoma Tomcat both have something that's in our trucks. Okay, and there's a little something in our trucks called a CB, Citizen Band Radio. Okay, CB radio. So does that mean that because the FCC enforced this broadcast station, does that mean they don't go back and enforcing the language? And I mean, because according to CB radio and rules and regulations, you cannot advertise on the CB, and you can't cuss on the CB. Is the FCC going to start enforcing those too?
If they do, they got a lot of work to do because they got to catch up on all the people who've been doing that.
Just think about the money they'll make on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. It does look very suspicious when they, if they knew that he's been doing this, and now suddenly, after what happened on Facebook, now they're suddenly enforcing it. That looks very, very suspicious.
Yeah, now he's been taken off the radio waves.
So now let's just give them the benefit of the doubt just for this argument, okay? An argument I'm about to make, playing devil's advocate here. Let's say they're actually doing everything with the greatest intention, enforcing the law. But when you take a step back and take a look at it, it justifies what his base is actually saying, right? I mean, so that, this is the sticky situation that you get into, whether it's government or you're the boss of somebody or an owner or something, and you let things go. You don't enforce a rule, and then suddenly you change around and start enforcing a rule, especially with bad timing. I mean, because it is bad timing to start enforcing this rule, because now it's going to stir up his base, Alex Jones' base.
Well, not just that, but it's going to stir up more people, because now they're looking at
libertarians.
Well, not just that, but now they're saying, okay, we understand Facebook and all that, but now the federal government's in it. Now, what is he saying that's got y'all scared?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it stirs up. It stirs up so many people. I mean, you got your conspiracy theorists that now are going to be, bringing up exactly that question you're bringing up. It's going to bring up the Republicans, of course. It's going to stir up Alex Jones's base, and it's going to stir up. I mean, even people who are not followers or listeners of Alex Jones, like you and I. Now we're like, what's the deal?
What is
maybe we were looking at this.
Yeah, what is he saying now that's got y'all so scared?
Yeah, exactly.
What evidence does he have now that he, now he's singling them out? Now he's being singled out. All we're waiting now is for Hillary Clinton to suicide him.
Well, shoot, why Hillary Clinton? I mean, look at who's in charge of the who's in power now. Why is it being enforced now? Is there something that has Trump wanting to shut him down? Because now it'd be Trump against. Because, Trump is, head of the, that is the executive branch,
Yep. But
here's a good thing, though. Here's a good thing about all this. Now maybe the Republicans are going to think twice about Trump. Maybe this is actually going to turn out to be a good thing. Hey, Republicans. Guess who's in charge of the FCC right now?
Yeah. So now we're looking at stuff like that. What's really going on right there? And I thought about that. So they've shut down his broadcast station because they said that the broadcast station hasn't been paying hasn't bought a permit since 2012. Well, they've been on pirated air since 2012. So I guess whenever their permit expired, they never renewed it. But the federal government hasn't done anything about it since right after social media went after him.
Yeah, and see that's another thing. Is, and this is why I'd have to read more into it, find out exactly the timeline of everything. Because, if his permit expired, okay, and you weren't, it's kind of like, can someone who's renting a house and hasn't been paying their bill, and the landlord doesn't evict the person, whose fault is it for not collecting the bill, right? If someone doesn't pay, if, for instance, let me tell you something. If we don't pay, Blog Talk Radio, they're not going to wait around. They're going to cancel our program, right? So why has Alex Jones, if what the government is claiming, why haven't they? Why did they let him keep on broadcasting? And why just suddenly shut him down? And that's another thing I would want to know is, did they give him notice? Did they say, hey, you better renew your license, or we shut you down? Which, by the way, everyone, just to let you know, libertarians are against the licensing of the airways. So, come our way and help support us. But, why, yeah, why now? Why do they suddenly want their money? They've been letting him go for so long. And was he really pirating? I mean, that's such a strong word, To me, that's not pirating. If he was broadcasting over the same airwaves that he's been doing, and he didn't pay his bill, that's not pirating. That's just not paying your bill.
Well, they I guess they say a lot of they call it pirating because that was basically what their radio station was called, pirated radio. Which I've heard that the pirated radio broadcast when I went through Austin and stuff. Yeah. But the thing is that I thought it was just a gimmick. I didn't realize he didn't have permits to be permits to be on there.
Now, see, that's another thing I have to. I'm curious about. Is it just that his licensing expired, or did he purposely pirate? Did he purposely broadcast illegally? As far as not just not paying your bill, but or renew the license, but actually steal the airwaves from without getting around the licensing. Now, if he's getting around licensing on purpose, actually doing pirating, then I'm like, okay, even though I'm against the licensing and all that stuff, still, if you break, I've said it many times, if you choose to break a law, you have to accept the consequences of that action, But, it's not that I'm against him for doing it, because, hey, but still, that's
all right,
the
here it
choice
is.
you make.
Okay, here it is.
Right.
A pirate radio station in Texas that broadcasts conspiracy theorist Alex Jones' show has dropped off the air amid an intensifying fight with the FCC. The Department of Justice filed suit against Walter and Ray Onelnik, accusing them of operating an unlicensed radio station out of their Austin apartment complex since at least 2013. The FCC sent the couple multiple letters warning of dire consequences of broadcasting without a license, including fines, seizures of equipment, and even criminal sanctions.
Mm-hmm.
It called upon the operators of Liberty Radio to cease immediately. The Oleniks responded that the agency lacked jurisdiction and to kindly never bother us with harassment again. The FCC imposed a $15,000 fine on the Oleniks in 2014 for their willful and repeated violations, which they refused to pay. The U.S. attorney filed suit Friday in the District Court of Austin, seeking to force the couple to pay the penalty. The Austin American-Statesman reported that the religious programming was airing on 90.1 FM on Wednesday. Reported that religious programming was airing on 90.1 FM on Wednesday in place of Liberty Radio. The Texas Liberty Radio website informed listeners that due to circumstances beyond our control, its broadcast towers are no longer available as of December. It suggested alternative ways to tune in via streaming apps such as TuneIn, WinApp, or Shoutcast, or by calling the listening line. There you go.
All right, so that does change a lot of things. Okay, first of all, it wasn't Alex Jones that was actually shut down. It was he was broadcasting on an illegal radio there.
Broadcast, yeah.
And there, yeah, and so he, I don't know if he knew it or not. I'm sure he probably did, but that's what you do when that is what happens when you're hooked up with someone who's doing something illegal. Now again, Republicans. I mean, you don't have you can't be blaming the government for the timing is bad, but apparently they have been setting warnings and stuff. But I think it's coincidence. And hey, Republicans, Alex Jones followers, libertarians, vote him in. Okay, libertarians are against the licensing airways. It should be free. It should be 100%. Shoot, if it was free, then we'd be on it.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
The Liberty National Network.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh, yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is, busy, I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Have you ever wanted to host your own political talk show? If you are a libertarian and love to talk about politics, then the Liberty National Network has a deal for you. For only $17.50, the Liberty National Network will let you broadcast from your home using their studio. Not only will you be able to broadcast live on the Liberty National Network, but your show will also automatically be made into a podcast for everyone to listen to at any time on Stitcher Radio. Your show will also be posted on Twitter, Facebook, and other shows like the one you are listening to right now. Oh, you do not know how to host a talk show? Not a problem. We will teach you how to operate our studio and give you all the support you need to be a political talk show host. So, if you are a libertarian and love to talk about politics, you can have all of this for as little as $17.50. If you are interested, contact Joseph Jones at 918-623-9721. That number is 918-623-9721. The Liberty National Network, libertarians joining together for liberty.
The oldest existing human that we know of is the 5,300-year-old body of a man, frozen in ice, that was uncovered by climbers in the Italian Alps in 1991. His name is Ötzi, the Iceman, and aside from being extremely well preserved, he was remarkable for another reason: the 61 tattoos that adorned his body. For as long as we've been on the planet, humankind has marked their bodies to commemorate important events, imply meaning, or signify value. Everything from a sailor's inscription of a lost lover's name to the tribal markings of indigenous peoples denoting a ceremony or achievement reminds us that using permanent markings can be one of the clearest ways to show what's meaningful to us. As it turns out, we aren't the only ones who do this. God does too. Listen to this powerful verse in Isaiah. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. That verse is part of a passage where God reminds his people that he has not forgotten them, even during an extended period of captivity. And while the most important part may seem to be the fact that God has engraved or tattooed the name of his people on his body, it's worth considering where that engraving occurs: his hands. A lot has changed in the lives of human beings over the years, but we still use our hands for nearly every daily task imaginable. We look at them hundreds, maybe even thousands of times each day. The implication here is powerful, that our names are never out of God's sight. I want us to think about that. If your own life's commitments were to be written on your hands, what would they be? Work, school, your career? Or would they be the names of people in your life, family members, friends, and those inside or outside of your church community? It's often easy to lose sight of what matters amidst the hustle and bustle of our lives, but I think this verse and the principle it embodies ought to be a powerful reminder to all of us of two things: to put first things first in our lives, and remind us of our Heavenly Father's love for us. I want you to picture His hands right now, the same hands that knit the galaxies together, and then picture your own name, tattooed in His skin. Powerful, isn't it? Our God has marked us into His heart as permanently as ink sets into our skin. We are always in His mind, always in His eyes, and always in His heart. I'm Joseph Tkach, speaking of life.
The Oklahoma Tomcat thinks he is a big tough cat, but he is actually as harmless as a kitten. You are listening to Political TNT on the Liberty National Network. If you want to be part of the show, dial 914-338-1906 and then press 1.
All right, welcome back to Political TNT. And that message, yeah, go ahead.
I have a caller.
Oh, you got a caller.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 minute, Miss Producer. I got a passage to read to you, and this is, I want you to tell Jay this. Okay, I want you to tell Jay this. This is the verse I want, and I want you to record it. I want it recorded so that you can prove to me that was actually read during your wedding. Okay, it's Proverbs 5:18 through 20. Actually, it'll be 18 to 19. May your fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice in the wife of your youth. A loving doe, a graceful deer, may her breasts satisfy you always. May you ever be intoxicated with her love. Isn't that great?
Yeah, that is great. That is nice.
May her breasts satisfy, even talks about her breasts, So, that'd be read to Jay,
That would be that would be wonderful.
now we need
the guy who said that well, it can't be X-rated because it's in the Bible. but the guy told the priest for his wedding, which will be taking place in September. With his wife right there, he gave the priest that verse that he wants it read. His wife's like, no. He's like, what? It's beautiful. Like, no, what's what? And she's like, and breasts?
Let me guess. Our caller is from Florida.
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you can't use the number anymore to determine who's going to, where the person's from anymore, because everybody's got cell phones and traveling.
But I asked political swing states.
Okay, what is your comment today, caller? Welcome to the show. You're on Political TNT on the Liberty National Network.
Thank you for having me, first off. And I just saw the topics that you were discussing earlier, and I guess you already covered the ground with Antifa. But, one of the things that really strikes me is, much as I despise what the left wing's doing, and it has nothing to do with anything constituting liberalism, they do play to win. And, I get so frustrated with the Republican Party when I see that, on the one hand, we got the choice of fascism from the left. I mean, really, equivalent to, in a lot of ways, to fascism in Germany, where they're willing to impose their views at the point of a gun. And you've got a great opportunity for the Republican Party to keep promoting this populist nationalism that Trump wants. And I see that two of the big winning ticket items are to push the issue of the borders and trade. And I see so many Republicans that still seem to be beholden to their donors because, and this is the way forward, because the alternative is we see what that an increasing amount of people under the age of 40 are attracted to socialism. We see that increasingly higher and higher numbers of Democrats are comfortable with socialism, and they're comfortable imposing it at the point of the gun. They're comfortable using groups like Antifa. They're comfortable with corporate censorship and denying services from institutions that should be considered common carriers to people that don't agree with them. And so the only way forward, really, I see, is we're either going to have this, what the left wants, or we're going to have this populist nationalist brand of conservatism. It's either going to go one of two ways. And I think that the fact that so few Republicans have really jumped on that wagon tells me that it's quite obvious they're just as big of a part of the problem as the Democrats. And my contention has been for 3 years is that there are a lot of Republicans they'll be completely comfortable losing elections so long as it keeps their donors happy, even if in the process of losing their elections they make the Republican Party obsolete.
Wow, you've covered a lot there, and so much of what we've covered in the past too, in other shows and stuff like that. And I thank you for calling. So, what's your comment there, Travis?
He did. He did touch on a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I did catch out of that is one is by Winston Churchill, because he was talking about the age difference and stuff. Well, if you're not a liberal at 20, you have no heart. If you're not a conservative at 40, you have no brain.
Yeah.
This is different though than liberals were 20 years ago. This is very different. I'm not, I'm a millennial, and I can just tell you, I've seen a big change to where 15, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, you didn't see people from the left that were comfortable using violence to impose their views, and you didn't see
exactly
10, 15 years ago so many Democrats very comfortable staying out in the open. We don't need borders at all. Now, even open borders. With open borders, you get child sex trafficking, you get all the women from Central America being raped, and you get cheap labor for the wealthy, which supposedly they're against.
Yeah. Well, what if I told you that true liberals, because I know a lot of liberals, okay, true liberals don't want violence. True conservatives don't want violence. What if I told you that all this stuff is being set up?
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you that someone behind the scenes somewhere, because like I said, this stuff wasn't going on, like you said, 10, 15 years ago. Why is I mean, we didn't have white nationalists marching under Obama. Wouldn't that have been more pragmatic to do it under Obama, since he was our first black president? Why are they doing it under a white president?
Well, and I would point out, too, that even that's not entirely true, because even when they get, like in Charlottesville, they get maybe 50, 100, 200 white nationalists. That's all that you get. You don't get thousands of people marching. You don't get white nationalists going on these college campuses preventing left-wing speakers from speaking. You don't get in the major cities white nationalists marching, every other week like you do in places like Philly or Seattle or out in California. So even that's not entirely true, because overwhelmingly, disproportionately, it comes from the left. And you're right, these movements are astroturf, artificial movements concocted by puppet masters to try to divide and conquer, which, if I were one of the oligarchs, and I was worried that somebody was going to challenge my power and come after me for all of my misdeeds, I would use identity politics to put the country 100 different ways, because, the one thing we have over them is that there are more of us than there are them. But it's like a magician. Now, while you're busy focusing on the right hand, and you're looking at the right hand and you're looking at the right hand position, you're performing his magic with the left hand. And it's a sleight of hand kind of thing. And we play into it when we spend too much time focusing on, the puppets and not the puppet masters.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of background coming in on your side there.
I'll make sure I'm mute next time.
But yeah, there's definitely something going on, because you remember whenever they was talking about the riots and the stuff that they had up in Oregon about a month ago. Did our caller drop?
Yep.
Oh man, Oklahoma Tomcat ran him off. But going by what he was saying, you remember about a month ago all the riots and the protests and stuff that they were supposedly having up in Oregon, in Portland, Oregon.
Mhm.
It's funny, I was up there in Portland, Oregon that very weekend, and I didn't see nothing like that going on. I mean, everybody was just doing their own thing, traveling, going to their own business. I never, ever seen a hair of any type of craziness.
So what was it made up?
I don't know, but I found it weird.
Huh. Everyone ran away.
Is Travis still on?
Well,
yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I was like, shoot, I don't hear nothing. Let me hurry up and unmute my mic. There's something that he said though that I do want to emphasize. He was talking about liberals back, 10, whatever number of years ago. That is something that I've seen addressed a few times, but a lot of people aren't getting. There are a lot of people who are liberal who do not know this. But actually, the true liberals, the liberals that he's talking about, which is now called classic liberals, is the Libertarian Party. What we follow is actually, what Democrats used to be. What I've seen is not a switch from between the Republicans and Democrats so much, even though there's a few things that have. What I see more is both parties have gone quanto crazy to the left, and that's pretty much how it has. Now, the one thing is, when it comes to the racism, I do see the Democrats have been racist and still are racist today. They just found a different way to fight the racism, support the racism, is to pretend that they're not racist, that they're looking out for blacks, when here really their policies have kept minorities down a lot more.
Yeah. And like I tell people all the time, look, let me run this story by you. I know this old man, okay? This old man used to go to the club, go to the bar. And one day some young people decided they wanted to play a trick on this old man, and they put a tack in his chair. Okay? So this old man kept going to the same bar. He sat on the same bar stool with this tack. And every time this tack would poke him in the butt. Every time. And he would just sit there and complain about it. For years he did this. People kept telling him, well, why don't you just remove the tack? And he kept making the excuse up, saying it won't do no good. It won't help nothing. It won't do nothing. It won't do no good. There's no reason for it. Well, one day he passes away from an infection from this tack. This tack poked him in the butt so many times he got an infection, and he passes away. And the original people that started the put the tax there was nowhere to be found to lay blame on for this. But how can you really lay blame on somebody that done something else when you had the opportunity to remove the tax? And that's what American politics is today. We've got the left and we got the right, and they're both tax, and they're poking everybody. They're taking from everybody. They're infecting everybody with their trash. Okay. And now it's all coming to a boil, and it's on a pop. The infection is getting gangrene, it's getting rotten. And when you tell people, why don't you just vote Libertarian? Why don't you vote a different way? Why don't you do something different? What is everybody's excuse? It won't do no good. It won't do no good. It won't do no good. It won't change nothing. Everybody is the same. The infection has gotten so bad in our country that we're dying, we're suffocating, we're dying from the infection, and nobody wants to do anything about it. And then when our country implodes, the people who started all this stuff won't be around to blame. You can only blame yourself because you won't stop doing what you're doing. What's the definition of insanity? Insanity is doing the same freaking thing over and over and over and expecting different results.
That is very good, Miss Producer. Cut that, and make it a thing where we can share that link. No, that's very, very well said. And so true. And I mean, if you guys want proof, that you're just voting the same thing over and over and over and over again, not getting rid of the problem, look at history. Both Republicans and Democrats have had overwhelming majority in the federal government. And the problem has not been solved.
Yeah, and look at this, okay? It's football. It's fixing to be football season, okay? Football season. And now we're dealing with the setting down and the flag protest, okay? We're doing the flag protest again. And I asked them, I said, why are you protesting the flag? Well, we're protesting the injustices of America, police brutality. Dude, this is the infection I'm talking about. Why can't y'all see this? You're protesting the whole country, but you're not willing to vote the people in to get those laws out there that's putting these people in jeopardy. The guy in New York died. He was choked down by a police officer for selling bootleg cigarettes because they weren't being taxed.
Tax, yep. Tax. And who's the one that enforced it?
Yes. And who put it there in the first place? The Democrats.
And who's the one that said he was going to enforce it? Enforce all taxes even harder. The mayor of New York. He's the one that created that situation.
And it's not just him. It's in Republican cities too. You keep voting these people in that keep passing these local and state laws that are restricting your liberties, which cause you to die. It's just right there. But when you tell someone that, they say, well, they should have been following the law. Y'all shouldn't have made the law.
It's just like with these it's just like with these drug laws, which also put the police in confrontation with the citizens. All these laws you guys put in place, all these people you elect that put these laws in place, and wanting other people to follow your beliefs. You guys are the ones that put the police officers in confrontation with the citizens. Don't be protesting the police. Protest yourself for electing the people in office.
Yeah, I mean, really, come on. Really think about it. You're the one putting these. So what you're telling me now, when you protest the flag and you protest the national government, is that you're wanting the federal government to come in and fix your mistakes because you weren't smart enough to vote in the right people to maximize your liberties. Now you're wanting the federal government to come in and just squash everybody and put everybody under the same laws. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me you're wanting nationalism. I need a mic drop button. That's my point right there. We are infected. We are infected with this mentality that only the Republicans and the Democrats have what is best for us. And now they've got the bases fighting each other, bickering at each other, throwing things at each other. Okay? All I can say is y'all stupid. If you cannot see it, you're stupid. Tell me, Miss Producer, after all the things that were in our shows that we've talked about, do you see what I'm talking about now? Do you see why I'm a libertarian?
Yes.
I mean, to me, when someone says this, I see the whole picture. I see why it's like that. I'm woke. I see the full picture. Well, this happened. Well, y'all shouldn't have voted that guy in. Like for instance, in Baytown, Texas, the town I live in. We got 2 minutes left. Baytown, Texas, I live in. It's against the law to own, shoot, or possess fireworks in that town. You can't even go to the top fireworks stand in another town, buy them, and bring in that town. It is illegal to own, possess, or use fireworks in Baytown, Texas. And every year, twice a year, New Year's and 4th of July, people complain about it. Complain, and bitch about it. I'm saying, I said, well, why is it city ordinance? Why did y'all vote them in? And then they shut up. Y'all voted them in. You voted the people in to make these local laws.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you wouldn't really know until like later on, because I'm pretty sure that they don't make that known that they're gonna like with the fireworks. I'm pretty sure that they didn't go, well, one of the things, if I'm voted in, I'm gonna stop everyone from using fireworks in the city.
No, but you got to know the people that you're voting for. You've got to know the type of people. You're voting in status. Look at their records. Don't just go by what they're telling you now. Look how they are. Look at their records. Most people don't go looking for the people's records. They don't go looking to be educated on who's running for what. Okay? Look. You have to educate yourself. That's what all these politicians want, is uneducated voters to vote for them. Okay, now, man, we're gonna run out of time. I'm gonna get stopped by the clock.
Yeah, it's 38.
But anyways, it is what it is. Y'all keep voting for them. Y'all keep putting them in the. You keep sitting on that tack, and you keep complaining about it hurting you in the butt. If you want to fix it, get up and remove the damn tax out of your butt. Start voting for libertarians.
And 11 seconds. And down.
Yeah.